Quietly brilliant. Actually, I noticed you dropped the quietly. You're just straight brilliant now.
Well, there's no room for it on the thumbnail. So.
I like that still. I like that anyway.
It was too long.
I also noticed you growing a beard out. Is that
Yeah.
being off work, you just chilling kind of thing, or you changing the look?
No, I had been growing a beard before I was off of work. I just wanted something new.
Okay, all right.
Try something different.
It looks good.
Thank you.
Does it fuck with the piercing or anything? Does it itch you in any kind of way?
It was at first. I had to cut it off about 3 or 4 times before I actually just let it grow.
That whole beard growth thing.
Yeah.
Fuck all that shit ain't for me.
It's crazy.
I'm still trying. I be trying, but every now and then I'm like, man, fuck it. We just gonna stick with this shit.
Yeah.
All right, so look, let's get going, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you with your time because you're a busy man doing your thing. Man.
Yeah.
So look. What's up, Grand? Bonjour, Famille. Bump Jonas here, and I'm chilling with none other than...
Quietly brilliant.
We about to have a sit down here at Syke, y'all. Let's get started. Now, again, like I said, man, I appreciate you tapping in. You're a busy man. Harder to 50 states podcast.
Right.
I like that chain, boy.
Thank you.
Look at you, man. Well, you put on for your shit, man.
I got to, man. I work hard for it.
You do. You really do.
Yeah.
And that leads me, y'all know I love segues. My first question I want to ask you right off the bat is, I've already had the honor and the pleasure of interviewing you before.
Right.
Kind of like, would it be safe to say like when you first started off?
I hadn't even shot my first podcast
No
yet.
shit. So we caught you like as you were launching.
Yeah, and
That's hard.
you remember when I came in, I was like, man, I'm intimidated. Looking at all the cameras and I'm like, I'm not ready for this yet.
Shit, look at you now though.
I know, it's
you
crazy.
You with it, man.
It's
shit.
crazy.
But okay, so and the reason I asked that, so you've been at it for a good 2-3 years now. Is your why still the same? The reason why you started or the reason why you keep going? Okay.
No.
So why are you doing it now?
For the love of it. Okay. Now, at first, I needed something to occupy my time because, as you know, I was managing artists at first, and they kept going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Or not sticking to the program or whatever. So I I couldn't do it no more. My wife was like, you got to do something else. We're going to keep putting money into people. And
not getting no sense of return.
Yeah, so this was just my way of staying connected to the music.
Okay. I think that's where we connect, is that we still have that need to be connected to the music in some kind of way, contribute in some kind of way.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
Okay. Let me ask you, man, where did you get your gift of gab? Because I noticed you just have a real smooth, calm way of speaking with people, but you're never really at a loss for words in a conversation or a situation. So
it comes from talking to people and mostly listening to people. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But conversating, listening to conversations. I'll sit in the bed at night for 2 and 3 hours and to put my phone on YouTube and just listen. Yeah, and she'd be like, "You was asleep. How did I tell you everything they talked about?"
Oh, so you do like what is that, sleep osmosis type of thing?
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I'll tell Keisha, I'm like, "Look, I know I was asleep." She was like, "I heard that all night long." It's just something I can do.
That's crazy. That's a dope ass talent though.
Yeah,
for
it's
real.
Yeah.
Like, that's some cheat code shit, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. We have to submit that to the Podcast Association, man.
Yes.
So let me ask you, how did the relationship with Stone's neighbor come about?
That was my cousin Wack.
Tackle Box, right?
Tackle Box Studios.
Okay.
Shout out Stone's neighbor Greg. Tackle Box Studios. My cousin Wax Gotti. Shout out Wax Gotti.
Oh, shit,
Locked up, free Wax Gotti. Was like, damn. Me and him are close, especially when it came to the music back then.
Okay.
One night he was like, "Man, I know this studio out here in Lee Summit. Let's go." I think it was my birthday, actually.
Oh, shit.
Pulled up there, and I'm like, "Man, where the hell are you taking me?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What'd I do to you?" Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in the wood.
So I hear like, yo, is this some Goodfellas shit,
yeah,
man?
like, what's going on? And he takes me in, and I meet Greg, man, and it's been me and him ever since. You know what I'm
So
saying?
y'all clicked and went from there.
Yeah, he's a dope. You know what I'm saying?
So
Especially,
how did it come about as far as, because you, like, when we first interviewed, you hadn't shot the podcast yet.
right?
Did you already have the location then at that point? You just hadn't got
Yeah.
the, okay.
Me and him had already talked about it.
Okay, so at that point you met him, and then the idea comes about to do the podcast
Well,
because of the transition.
When I had the record label and the artist as management, that was our home studio.
Oh, so you guys already had some
Right.
relationship anyway.
I was there at least once a week.
Okay, got you.
With
And that
my
all comes
5
about.
artists, and yeah, and after they were all gone, it's just still me and him.
So you start off through Wax.
Right.
You meet him, and then and then the relationship develops. The record label's going. You guys are doing business together and working together.
Right.
Okay, so it's like
Developed a friendship.
yeah.
And
So you start off with 2 or 3, and then it blossoms to 10, and then it dwindles down to 2, and you're looking at each other like, all right, so what we gonna do?
right.
boom,
Right. And
part of the 50 states.
He's always been supportive of anything that I've wanted to do. You know?
I mean, there's no reason not to, bro.
Yeah.
You a solid, genuine dude. So
yeah,
like
that's my guy, man. That's my brother.
okay, all right. So I did notice that the set has changed a little bit.
Right.
I can't decide what I can't decide if I like the change or not. I mean, let me say that correctly. I like the change, but I don't know if I like the booth better or the couch.
Yeah.
You know what I
get
mean?
mixed reviews. And maybe next season we'll change it again.
Okay.
This is just us trying.
Oh, and that's my question: is what brought on the change? Like, was it a logistics thing, or just you wanted a different aesthetic, or
In that booth, man, it felt like we was just so.
somebody had some funky ass breath?
Nah, it wasn't a breath. It wasn't a breath.
I'm playing.
It felt we couldn't get the right camera angles because we only had so much space to work with.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Okay.
It's only this far between us and the camera, so in order to get the right angles and the right shots we had to move somewhere.
Now, I did notice that everyone seems a little more comfortable on the couch.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
to your point about the space and stuff, 'cause
Right.
you're like literally right there. So
Yeah.
shit, that's worse than a job interview, man. You know what I
Man.
mean? Okay. All right, so this one I need you to be honest with. I need you to be honest with me. I don't want no political, no media trained responses. What's the podcast landscape look like to you right now? If you're looking at it, and I'm not saying it to be controversial. I'm just saying, like, what is your opinion of maybe the amount and the quality of podcasts and the opportunities for podcasts out there?
It's definitely crazy. I stick to a certain type, more of the more informative ones. I don't get too crazy with them. I know some crazy ones, but it's in a few years it's going to be oversaturated, just like music or anything else. We're already headed there now.
Do you
know
think we
what I'm
could
saying?
lose podcasting to AI?
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
Because like, there's whole
We're losing things to AI right now.
right. Yeah. So
You know what I'm saying?
So that's really on the chopping block as much as
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah,
And we got to work harder at this shit, y'all.
man.
Hey, this sounds shitty to say, but unfortunately for y'all, I'm going to be here, and I know Harder to 50 going to be here, so
Yeah, as long as I'm allowed to do this, I will.
fuck them if they don't allow it. We going to do it regardless. I'm a rebel. My bad. That's just, you know what I mean? We can curse here, by the way. When it comes to social media, what's your preference, Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram. But I've learned over the last month that you need Facebook. Because, especially Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm picking that up.
That's where everybody is in Kansas City, is on Facebook.
They're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of the age demographic. It's
Yeah, they're on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's where everybody is. It was a hard pill for me to swallow because I don't really like Facebook too
Why not?
much. The drama. The drama that comes along with it.
Really?
And yeah, man, it's just...
So Facebook has its own... I mean, every social media has its own world, but like I thought Twitter was where the drama, or X now, whatever.
I post on Twitter, but I don't really look
You
on
don't be on
Twitter.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
So you just use them for what they need to be and then move on.
Yeah, I don't really indulge too much in nothing like that.
I noticed you mentioned drama, so like I can see that in in the way you carry yourself. You try to avoid that shit at all costs.
Well, I'm a Libra, so at all costs I will. But please,
It's easy.
if you want to, we can. But I advise no. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my sis. I know how that goes. To me, Libras and Virgos are like real close in terms of how shit can go left with them. If you
Yeah,
want,
I'm the nicest guy, bro. And as soon as you do something to me, because I know I'm such a nice guy, I'm gonna go there with you.
just because.
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah,
you doing some unnecessary.
You've already
shit.
said fuck me, so yeah, let's go.
The gate's open.
Yeah.
Podcasters are powerful, y'all, but leave them alone. Okay. Usually when I'm talking to an artist, I have a scenario that I call the chicken or the egg. Man, I don't know if that really works for you. Ultimately, what I want to ask is like, what's the recording process for y'all? You know what I mean? How do you go about getting the shot together? Is it very simple? Is it easy in a sense? Do you have to go through any particular setup to make it all come together?
I don't. Stoney's got all that figured out. Shot up 816. Stoney shot it. I hate to call him my cameraman because he's more like my partner.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's another part that me and Greg have added. To our.
And he's the camera. He's a camera though. The visual. Okay.
Yeah. Everything that you see from the Heart of the 50 mostly is shot by Stoney.
Okay. So then you guys are like a trifecta, right? In the sense of you have the space, you have the host, the content, the interaction that's going on, and then you have the visuals that are being pulled together.
Right.
Okay. So we need to get Stoney in here and talk with him.
Oh yeah, get him on here. He'll love to sit down and talk.
So do you guys end up having to have like content meetings or strategy meetings about how you're going to approach an interview or anything like that?
No, we go in and head first, bro. We don't think about no questions or nothing. Whatever we feeling right then is what we ask.
Is how it goes.
Yep.
I love how your shit is. I was gonna ask if you had your questions memorized, if you had some framework, because it's very conversational.
I tried that, man, and I always felt myself trying to look back to that paper
and make through you offer
and some of my favorite podcasters didn't do that.
So you're like, no, get rid of it.
And they're the top podcasters, so why am I doing that when I'm trying to be a top podcaster?
Oh shit! I mean, hey, bro, but you there now anyway, so
I'm trying.
Fuck trying, bro. You doing?
They say it, but I don't feel it yet.
All right, man. All right. Hey. Well, we see it. So, what's your cleaning music? Or do you clean? Does he clean? I'm just playing.
I clean. I'm a Mo 3 guy.
Oh shit,
man. Mo 3. Juvenile, anything old Southern like that, man.
Okay.
But mostly lately, even when I get down to my feelings or feeling bad, man, I go right to Mo 3.
Okay, yeah, that's a good selection though. I know. Okay, so actually, I gotta stop and give you your flowers, but I think Mo 3 is an interesting selection, and it's what makes me segue into that because, and I wrote it down in the sense that like. You make it, you actually show for us, like I'm 47 years old, right? I'm 47, I'm about to be something like that, right? But you show us how we can age gracefully.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that old head syndrome about you. You know what I'm saying? Like none of this looks unnatural for you to be sitting here, to be chilling, to have a piercing, to have your hat on the fitted, and it makes me feel comfortable because it's like, oh shit, yeah, I can still do that. I don't, you know what I mean? Like you carry it feels like you're carrying our generation into that transition of like, we're the elders, we're the statesmen of things, right? And the way you handle it is just very, very, very graceful. So I appreciate how you do it. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I'm 44, by the way.
Oh shit. Said get it together. So now this is me doing some research for myself.
Okay.
But when it comes to shows, and because you're a manager or were a manager, but I think you never left that manager mentality, though. I think in some ways you move about things still with a manager
Yeah.
aspect.
If I fuck with you, if I see you doing something wrong and I know you can take constructive criticism, I'ma holler at you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a way I manage in a way since to this day, just for free, just to
Right.
give away to help out.
See what I'm saying? It's never left you. That's just your
that's just
mindset.
me. Yeah.
Okay. And so with that, then I know that you're paying attention. I know that you got the ear of these cats, and vice versa. So why do you think some artists are selective about what shows they do and when they perform?
I don't know, man. Most of it probably comes back to Kansas City politics.
Oh, okay.
Some guys, like at our studio, at Tackle Box, some guys just want to come there and be there just because they seen one of their ops there.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? To
okay.
take that same shot that he took,
Yeah.
to show him that he can be here too. You know what I'm saying?
So it's just some weird jealousy, envy.
Yeah,
one
man.
up.
It's something that we would probably think is the dumbest thing, but it's something to
It's
them.
real. Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And you got to be particular with that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can end up hurt.
Right, because the wrong person at the wrong place.
Right.
Okay. See, that's something that I guess for me I'm not necessarily used to, because I'm a transient here, a transplant, right? I've been here about 17, 18 years now. So when people mention the Kansas City politics, I don't necessarily always get that.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
learning that still,
people are scared.
because they don't want no friction, no funk.
Are backdooring or thinking you setting them up, especially if it's way out the way somewhere. I know
Right.
dudes that set up, and I've been done like that too.
Damn.
Where they be like, "I'm coming." We sit there 2 hours and nobody.
No pull up.
Yeah, sometimes it's just location.
Got you. Okay. All right. I mean, that helps me, because I be wondering sometimes if some of these artists are just on some prima donna shit and they're like, oh, that's not for me. And I'm like, oh.
I haven't got that.
Okay,
yet.
good. That's good. That helps me. Like, all right, because y'all need to get on these shows. The shows out here. Get out here. Get that exposure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think? This one's personal. So we can skip this if you want. But what do you think has been your biggest hurdle in life so far?
Wow. So far is realizing the people who say they love you really don't sometimes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd probably be the biggest hurdle.
Meaning they don't come through,
or
they don't.
They say
they don't
one
stand
thing
on
and-
that love.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's conditions with it.
That's the sometimes. Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want it if it come with conditions.
Like they love you when it benefits them.
Right.
Okay. Now that's the aspect that I have seen when it comes to KC politics.
Right.
Is that it's very, what's in it for me? If it benefits
it
me,
is.
then we could rock.
Yeah,
we good. That's my guy. Okay.
They get on that too.
A little bit of that. That's where I learned the word Jeffin from.
Yeah. There have been people that I've hit up before, you know what I'm saying? I got popping or whatever. That's like, come on. Yeah.
Unnecessary games, you end up with unnecessary prizes. Now we know. I remember from our previous interview, we talked about your music a little bit and we had some fun. And I'm not trying to be tongue in cheek. I'm kind of serious, bro. But do you ever go back and listen to your old music?
I can't. I don't know where the CDs are.
Damn.
This was when we was still burning
Back in
CDs.
the day.
Yeah, this was like 2001.
So you really from the grit. You really from the
Yeah,
era.
this was a home studio that we got from Lord knows where. That we put together. I'm pretty good with electronics and stuff back then and I figured it out.
So that was all just homegrown then.
Yeah, we called ourselves AUG, all us gangsters. Back then, we were fresh out of high school, and you couldn't tell us nothing.
Now, if you were this is a great. Y'all know I love segues. If you were fresh out of high school now, or if you were to start doing music right now, what do you think you would be doing? Like, what do you think your sound would be like?
Probably more of a West Coast.
Okay.
Because that's what I was mostly influenced by.
Back then.
Yeah, like E40, Be Legit, D Shot.
So you still would be drawn to that now because that's still prevalent now. That
exactly.
Kind of energy.
So I love their creativity when it comes to beats. I love a West Coast beat.
Okay. This is a tangent, but why do you think? So KC obviously has a very strong connection to the Bay Area, to the West Coast in that sense. But we've sort of drifted more towards other sounds in some degree, right? Why do you think that's happening or is occurring?
Because it's more of back when I was growing up, we only had a select music to listen to. I felt it was either you was West Coast or East Coast. We didn't really know too much about Miami or Atlanta.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The other regions weren't visible.
Chicago, or we knew that they were there, but we wasn't on that dance music. We wanted to ride and slide and gang bang.
Mob shit.
Yeah, mob shit.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
That's really was the draw and the connection. I mean, KC's a hustler city, though. You can't really
exactly
get away from that.
No, it always will be as far as I see.
So, okay. Who do you think has been your most quotable guest? And I mean, not like who had the best lines, but just the one that always had like that quick comeback, that quick reply, the most wittiest one in terms of your guests that you've had so far.
Probably Two Gun Kiwi. Rest in peace.
Shout out to him.
Two Gun. He knew his shit, man. Especially about the music industry.
Right.
What I wish would have happened, this was when I was still recording off of my phone when I first started.
Oh, yeah.
Is we would have got the behind the scenes conversations and stuff that we had talked about before.
Right.
He was really like a genius when it came to this rap.
Man.
Or rap shit, man.
Gone too soon, man.
Man.
So that's something I did want to ask. I don't know if I had it down here. Okay, actually. I'm going to say that. I want to come back to that, though. Most hated exercise. Like right now, if you had to start exercising, not that you don't, but what's the one that you like, I'm not fucking doing that?
Running.
Damn. Running?
Yeah.
What? He said that. He flashback, y'all. He was mad at some kind of running. Why? What happened? Is there trauma going on?
No, it's either running or weightlifting. I've hurt myself. I'll say weightlifting.
Okay.
Because the last time I weightlifted, I hadn't been in the gym in probably maybe 10 years.
Oh, shit.
And I go in there like,
think you know what
put
you
this
do.
on here. And
what?
Man, I was messed up for about 2 months on my shoulder. I actually tore my rotary cuff and
that's
still
bad
probably
business, bro.
probably need surgery, but
no
just haven't did it.
No more bowling for you, my boy. No more bowling.
So yeah, not running. The weights messed me up. I was thinking I was still 25.
Hey man, you gotta do something though. We up in age, man. You gotta stay.
I do my push-ups.
Okay. Stay active.
I still work a full-time job too, by the way.
Look, don't get it twisted. How do you find your guests? Because I know a lot of times your guests are reaching out to you now, right? Are you still at a point where you need to reach out to a few here and there, or how does that work out for you?
No, right now, they coming in by the bolos, man. I don't even. It's starting to be to where the decisions need to be made.
Like as far as like, hey, we need to cut some of these guests off, or
no,
we need to be more.
We only do it on Saturday mornings,
right?
So do we pick up another day, or do we focus on this?
Damn. So you have an expansion point right now. Possibly.
Yeah.
That's fucking. Come on now. Come on, yeah.
Yeah. Do we add another day, or do we keep it like this at the pace that we know we can handle right now?
How does the pace feel for you right now? I mean, do you feel like you're putting out enough content, too much content, or not enough content?
Um, I think we're right there in the middle.
Okay, so you feel good. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm comfortable with what we do. We don't feel pressured.
okay.
And if any of us don't feel like doing it, we don't do it. We're a team. You know what I'm saying?
But you guys have a pretty consistent schedule, though. So have y'all taken any time off yet?
Yeah, like this Saturday, I told him like,
I'm done chilling.
yeah, once we stack like 3 or 4 video interviews, let's take a couple weeks off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because what happened like the first season is we end up getting burned out a little bit, because kind of at the end of that first season is when people stop showing up or not showing up.
Oh, really?
So
As far as guests, or
as far as guests,
really?
not we're always there.
Okay,
you know
okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying?
Why they are? Well, I guess guests be just being weird. And,
Yeah. And that's kind of disheartening a little bit, especially when you take your time out on a Saturday away from your family.
put this shit together, set
Yeah,
this shit up.
make him get out of his bed early and him get out of his bed only for you not to show up.
And nobody's walking in there blank minded. Like they all kind of have an idea of what they want to do. You've done your homework on this talent.
I'll text you the night before.
Oh,
like
damn.
so.
That's
I,
that's
yeah,
rough.
exactly. I text you the night before and you say okay, and then the next morning there's
And you know what? Look, let me just it's not that hard to just say no. Like it don't hurt our feelings.
It actually isn't.
It actually makes us feel better.
Man.
Because for me, if you leave me in an open-ended situation, then I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe I misread what you were saying. Like, just tell me no. And I'm a
Yeah.
pesky motherfucker, too. So if you don't tell me no, then I'm like, okay, it was bad timing. We're going to try again. But in this kind of situation, I'm going to walk away feeling a little disrespected because, like, oh, I just talked to you.
Yeah, and then you feel away
Right.
when you do want one and I asked you, are you going to show up this time?
Right.
I might ask you that twice.
That's a
before
legitimate question, though.
I might ask you that 3 times before.
Just to,
yeah,
before you commit even.
Yeah, because you need to take this just as serious as I do.
Okay, so is that a little bit of that fuck you, though? Like you mentioned earlier, once they kind of let you know it's fuck you, then it's like we can go there a little bit. Is there a little bit
Not
of...
with the podcast, but I'm like this. If you want to be a rapper or you want to be seen in the city, or you got to take it all the way serious.
Okay.
If you book something, you stick to that.
That's the professionalism.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
We're going to sprinkle some salt for that, because shit. All right, so I'm probably saying it wrong, and I don't even know if we can talk about it, so I'll edit it if not, but is it High Society Lounge?
Yes.
Okay, can we talk about that? Is that something
We can.
Okay, well, I just want to give you a moment to highlight that and talk about what it is and how it came about. What's going on?
It's with my partner Marcus Smith. It's really on pause right now.
Okay.
Because we thought we had parking. It's right out here in Blue Springs on Highway 72.
Okay.
But in the last maybe month or so, they've taken our parking and put shipping containers there.
That's an interesting play.
So
You got to have parking, though.
yeah,
That's a major thing in KC
and this
in
is what
general.
I told my business partner. I was like, man, the people I know, they're gonna pull up to there and be like, man, I'm out of here.
Right.
I know I would.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So right now it's on hold. We're looking for other places, maybe to still do the same thing. But right now it's no.
We just, right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, don't worry. We'll edit that part out. We don't need to bother on that.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh. Now, I saw you pick on somebody a couple times in your interviews about this, so I'm going to pick on you a little bit.
Okay.
I need your top 5 in the city and your top 5 in the industry.
Top 5 in the city. I would say Run, Wax Gotti, Kush Llama,
Okay.
Rich the Factor, Tech 9.
Boom. Then you hit all the you hit the classics, like the legends. Okay, all right.
In that order.
Oh, in that order.
In that order.
That's a strong one. Okay. Shit, I should have been taking notes now. All right, so now that's your city. What's your industry? What's your top 5 in rap?
E40, Mo 3, Mac Dre, Be Legit, Drake.
Okay. I did not see Drake coming. I'm a little surprised on that one, but
You'll be surprised at how much Drake I listen to, bro. I knew about Drake probably 5 years before anybody around here did because
shit, okay.
I had moved to Seattle for 2 years. I can't even remember the year.
Seattle's got a crazy hip hop scene up there too.
Yeah, but I had went up to this place called Ocean Shores. And we got we could hear Canada's like radio station.
Oh shit.
Or something. And when I got back from Ocean Shores in Seattle, I Googled Drake and I found the song with him and Trey Songz. It's probably their first collaboration together, right? And I moved back to Kansas City and I told my cousin, I got a cousin, bear witness, Steven, you know I ain't lying. I came back and played it. I said, man, this dude is going to be a star.
Damn, so you knew that, but you a manager, you know.
Yeah, I said he's going to be the biggest star that we've probably seen in a long time.
Okay.
In music. And look
where he at.
Yeah.
So are you feeling that Nokia? Not Nokia, but what's the name of the new project? Is it?
I haven't even listened. Bro.
Really?
I've been so tapped into my city.
Right. Okay.
And what's going on around here. I ain't even really concerned about the industry right now. I love that. Yeah.
I love that. Harder than 50, keep it right here. I love that. Okay, so I got what I think is a controversial question. Should guests be paid to come onto a podcast, or should they pay to come onto a podcast?
They should definitely pay.
Wow, okay.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I started off not charging, but then the oversaturation of anybody start coming, like thinking they could come on the show or whatever. So I did charge. I started charging, but I only let that happen 3 times before I start feeling bad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, damn,
okay,
should I be doing that? Yeah.
Because they were really talented. And that's what made me change my mind. They was willing to pay because they believed in their talent.
And they wanted to get it out.
Most of the people that were wanting to come on there didn't want to pay, really didn't believe in their talent or was subpar.
And it showed.
And it showed, right? Or they get on there and can't talk about nothing. Or there's nothing to talk about.
Right.
So now I just really pay attention to people's worth ethics.
Okay.
You got to be moving. You can't come up to me and be like, "Hey, let me be on your show. Hey, look at me." I need to be seeing you working.
So that's your criteria now for how you pick an artist. Then.
Yeah.
Or how you pick a guest.
Yeah. If I see you out here trying to do your thing or trying to do something,
then it's worthwhile. It's worth the conversation.
But if I don't see you on these social media sites just like everybody else in the city, why would I pick you over them?
Right. What makes your story worthwhile in this case? Because you're not even trying to tell your story. So why
exactly.
should I? Okay, I'll fuck with it. Ooh. All right, y'all. We're at that point. We got to pay some bills. Miss Tisdale already let us know we're kind of running close on time. But we chatty, we chilling, podcast peers.
It's been that long already?
Man, yeah. Should be fun, bro. Should be fun quick. This is the point where we do got to pay bills, right? Bills. This is our sponsored questions. First sponsor, of course, is our OG, our original, our primary sponsor. We love them like no other. Thrax Pastry. Nothing for sale here, just a suggestion of where you can spend some time. I promise you'll enjoy the journey. Not in the promise of sense where you get your money back. I don't do that. I'm just saying you're going to like it. Just take my word for it, that's all. But no, the question with this one's super simple. What's your comfort food? Like, you spend, let's say you take on another set, right? So now you got a Saturday where you do 2 shootings, right? So you got a long day of interviews and stuff. Done. You're coming home. You're chilling. What's that food or that meal that can be made or bought whatever that lets you feel like, oh, I'm done?
Fruit, man.
What? That's so fruit?
Yeah, I don't know what it is now that I've gotten older, man. That's my
Okay.
go-to
Fruit.
fruit, especially grapes.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm a grape dude. She be like, God, I eat a whole package of grapes in a day.
So you just eat the whole bunch, like just
Put it all, rinse them off, and put the whole thing in the bowl.
it just go. So for
Oh.
real, so like you come home from a long day of just editing and podcasting or whatever, and if wifey just hands you a bowl of grapes and some oranges or mandarins or whatever, you like
Pears,
oh, shout out all the
plums,
pears.
yeah, plums. I can go to Tropicana. I don't know if y'all know about Tropicana.
Is that the
smoothie
smoothie
place?
joint? Yeah, okay.
They do like a fruit cocktail where they give you all the chopped up fruit already and put the little tangine.
Oh yeah, the
Tahini on
yeah,
it, and I'll do that sometimes before I come home and eat that.
Well, you a man with taste and health. You know what I'm saying? A wealthy man. Okay, so this one actually goes out to our sponsor, Bargain Hunters Paradise Smoke Shop. They're actually operating and setting up the West Bottoms Market. Make sure you tap in with them every first Friday weekends. This one, depending on when this airs, it won't air in time, but first Friday weekends, make sure you tap in. With that, my question there is, let's talk about bazaars and marketplaces, right? Where would you feel more comfortable, you know, in sort of a strip mall setting or in kind of a bazaar where it's wide open air setup,
Probably a bazaar.
Bazaar, sort of open air kind of thing.
Yeah.
And why is that? I know you know about strip malls. Didn't KC used to have like a
They still do in a few places like the Landing.
Okay.
That's pretty much that's what that is.
Yeah,
a strip
that
mall.
is, huh? Okay.
The Legends. That's like a strip mall.
You know what? I haven't been out there in so long. You
Yeah,
need to check that out. Okay.
It's I just like the freedom.
Okay. You like the open air, the
Yeah,
spacing.
I don't like I'm a high anxiety dude. I know that's hard to believe.
You hold it well, man. You hold it well.
That comes from years of learning yourself.
Ooh, knowledge yourself.
Yeah.
Come on now.
A high anxiety dude, so I would rather not. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
have that like close quarters.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta be like when we go out. My back has to be. I have to be facing the door.
You need to see what's going on.
Yeah, at all times. We know that whenever we go out, like that's the thing with us. Yeah,
There's certain ways you got to move.
yeah, exactly.
I like that. Okay. Now, this last one here actually comes from our super macro sponsor, Syke Studios. And it's an easy one for you because you work out of Tackle Box. My question is, what are some things that you have come to appreciate when it comes to working out of a studio?
The relationships.
Like with Greg or just with the talent
With
that comes
anybody
through?
that's came through there, because I don't know if you know, in the beginning, that's who I was interviewing.
Oh, shit.
Everybody that I was interviewing actually came to Tackle Box
For a session.
that was where they recorded their sole recording studio.
Okay.
So I would go out there and just sit in on some of their studio sessions. You know what I'm saying? And build those relationships and get my my reps in as lifts my ear or whatever, and learn whatever I could from Greg as far as music
So
that he knew.
Did you know then that you were going to be podcasting?
No, I had no clue. My wife had mentioned something that she wanted to do it maybe years ago.
Okay.
Before it was even popular to do. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't into it then. I was like, no social media, especially. And then I seen what was going on in those relationships that became on social media. So I kind of wanted to protect us a little bit back then. So
so this was going to be like a husband and wife, a couples podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might have been juicy.
It would have, by now, it would have probably been on top of the world, actually.
Y'all might have had a damn show or something, man.
Yeah, we could have, but reality I was more scared of what it might do to
the
us.
repercussions of it.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful thing, though, because that potentially saved the situation from happening.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Fuck the fame. I'd rather have my wife.
There we go. There we go. So look, I got just a few more questions. At the end of the day, do you feel like, I gotta make sure I frame this right because I don't want to be disrespectful. Do you feel like you're putting on for the streets, for the you know, yeah, for the street element of KC when it comes to hip hop and rap?
I don't want to be put in a box.
And that was my next question. It's like that's really where I wanted to go. Is like, do you feel like that's what's happening, and do you feel like you are fighting to stay out of a box, or is it just moving naturally?
I'm definitely not fighting to stay out of a box. We do whatever we want to do.
Okay.
We don't care what anybody might say or think. If we want to interview you, we're gonna interview you.
I love that.
Rapper, singer, rock star,
Whatever.
yeah. If you out here working, let's work.
Let's talk.
That's what this is for.
Let's go. All right. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my closing question, man. It's the one I ask everybody. I probably asked you this one before, and I'm sure I'll ask you again. When it's all said and done, when the interview is over, when they're about to leave out, what is it that you want your guests to walk away with as far as an experience at Heart of the 50 States?
Most of the time when they come, they don't want to leave. Most of the time, too, once the first interview is done, they sit and watch the second interview because they feel so at home.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's to feel at home, feel like, we try to stay away from drama. We're not a drama podcast. We're not here for any of that.
Yeah.
We don't want to go viral for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we want you to feel comfortable, like you can sit down and talk to us and not fear that we're bringing the streets in here, because we're trying to keep them out of here in every way. We want to talk about your music and what you got going on. Yeah, we'll leave that for everybody else, but that's not our content.
I like that. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ain't shit else I can add to that, man. That was fire. That wasn't a hot take. That was a soundbite, y'all. Hey, man, with that, is there anything you want folks to know? Anything coming up? Anything they need to, tune into?
Just stay grinding, man. That's it.
Just stay grinding.
Consistency. I'm telling you, it works. You looking at me now, last year this time, man, I ain't gonna say nothing, but
He was something. He was something.
Grind, man. If you believe it, do it.
I got to get us up out of here. It's been a hell of a conversation. We had just had a sit down at Syke's. Bump Jonas here, and I was chilling with
Quality Brilliant from the Heart of the 50 States, man.
Now look, as I always say, love yourself like you try to love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week. Just be some dope motherfuckers. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.